Hello and welcome to another match reaction show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie. I'm your host for today's show. Another 4-1 victory for the Reds that puts us 4 points clear at the top. So let's discuss the key moments of the game and then I'll present my player ratings. But before we do, let's have a look at the lineups of both teams. So for Liverpool, Salah wasn't able to take part in this game, so Elliott starts at right wing. Joe Gomez also starts at left back. And the rest of the team is exactly what I expected in the match preview. Luton Town, Rob Edwards decided to go with Woodrow up top, with Morris and Chong playing behind him. And Andros Townsend starts on the bench, and the rest of the lineup was as expected. So, in terms of the first half, Liverpool produced the opening chance of the game as Diaz goes through on goal, somehow miscontrolled the ball and couldn't do anything further. So by then that chance was gone. Then a couple minutes later, Elliott hits a lovely deep pass towards Diaz, this time on the right-hand side. He goes infield, hits the shot, just misses the target. A very positive start from Liverpool in the opening 10 minutes. Gakpo was also very close to scoring with an acrobatic effort, but that shot was straight at the goalkeeper. Around the 10th minute, Doherty hits a lovely cross from the left side, but none of the Luton attackers were in the box. But surprisingly, around the 11th minute, Luton Town break the deadlock. Great hold-up play by Woodrow to Chong, who drives into the box. Awkward save from Kelleher that goes underneath his legs or hits the studs, not quite so sure. And towards the far post, Ogbene is there to head it into the back of the net. Huge surprise for Liverpool as they were showing some real intent before that goal. I have to say, some poor goalkeeping from Kelleher. Very unorthodox way of blocking that shot with his studs. Bizarre in my opinion. 14th minute, Gakpo tries to drive with the ball from the middle of the park, finds himself on the edge of the box, hits a lumping shot, goes over the bar for a corner. After that, it was pretty even Stevens until the 27th minute where Joe Gomez finds himself in the attacking half. He tries to curl one into the top bins. Unfortunately for him, it goes over the bar. The hunt continues for Joey G. He will get his goal this season. Mark my words. 28th minute, great interception from Endo. Gives the ball straight to Gakpo, who lays it off for Diaz on the left-hand side. He cuts in and shoots in one move straight at the goalkeeper. A few minutes later, Endo produces a lovely dig pass to Diaz. Probably one of the passes of the game, in my opinion. But he's unable to make real contact on the ball as he stretches to try and score a goal. Around the half-hour mark, Gravenberch has a shot from the outside of the box straight at the goalkeeper. From there on, I'm thinking Liverpool are gaining some momentum to get that equaliser. 44th minute, Luis Diaz hits a shot with real venom from distance, just goes over the bar. Good effort from the Colombian winger there. Liverpool had moments of play in the final third, but couldn't really find that killer instinct or that killer touch in front of goal. Diaz and Elliott were trying their best to make things happen, but Luton actually ended up the first half the stronger team, as Ogbene was very close to scoring a second goal for Luton Town, but he lashes his effort and goes wide off the mark. Overall, a disappointing half for Liverpool, who were trailing at half-time. They haven't played that bad, in my opinion, but for me, they just didn't really test the goalkeeper enough. Luton Town showed a good account of themselves, and they were trying their utmost to hold on to that victory. But unfortunately for them, that wasn't the case, as it was a different team that turned up in the second half for Liverpool. And Liverpool started very positively in the second half. In the opening minutes, in fact, Luis Diaz has a shot saved by the keeper. Probably should have scored, in my opinion, as there was a bit more of a clear-cut chance there. Great play by Bradley, who was driving the ball from infield. And then moments later, there was a huge penalty shout as Mengi seems to block a cross with his hand. VAR reviewed it and waved it play on. I didn't see the replay, so I don't have a strong opinion on that incident. If you do, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. 55th minute, Elliott goes on a charging run on the right-hand side. Gakpo gets the ball from him, hits a fantastic low shot towards the right side of the goal, saved by Kaminski for a corner. And this is where Liverpool got the equaliser around the 56th minute. Fantastic cross by McAllister, and Van Dijk leaps in the air, runs towards the 6-yard box, and hits the back of the net with a bullet header. Great finish from our captain there. And from there on, something just flicked, and we just stepped it up a notch. Elliott is on the attack again. He falls to the ground when he's in the box, but still manages to pass the ball towards Bradley, who hits a shot towards goal. Slight deflection, but still a good save from Kaminsky. And a minute later, Liverpool were on fire and bounced back in quick succession and took the lead. Bradley with a clever throw-in to McAllister, who hits the ball across the goal. Cody Gakpo hits the back of the net with a guided header. Fantastic play from Liverpool. Their shackles are off now. 59th minute, Elliott and Gakpo on the attack again. His shot goes out for a corner. Around the hour mark, deja vu, as Van Dijk produces another header from a corner, but this time it didn't hit the back of the net. In fact, it was a great save from Kaminsky, who probably didn't deserve to be on the losing side, as he had a great game from a goalkeeping point of view. And then 66th minute, substitutions start flowing. So Bradley comes off for Robertson. He gets a huge round of applause, and rightly so. He was fantastic today, and I think that was more of a tactical approach, or should I say, one eye on the final, where he wanted to rest Conor Bradley, because I'm expecting him to start this Sunday. 70th minute, Liverpool make it 3-1, and what a turnaround it is from the Reds. Great play from Robertson, who presses and gets the ball for Diaz. He drives into the box and finishes clinically with his left foot into the back of the net, and that was fully deserved for me, as Luis Diaz was fantastic throughout the whole game. Luton tried to produce a cheeky attack straight from kickoff. It looked like a couple of Luton players were offside, but no flags were raised. Doherty hits a low cross into the box, which was bravely blocked by our defender, De Kwanzaa. 74th minute, Diaz almost gets his second goal of the game as he drives into the box, hits a low shot with his left foot. Great low save by Kaminsky again. And then 76th minute, this is when we started adding more players from the bench, especially youngsters. Bobby Clark comes on for Gravenberch. 80th minute, Gakpo has another chance to make it 4-1, like he did against Brentford. But unfortunately, this time, his effort just goes wide. Barkley, probably one of the best players for Luton today, has a shot from outside of the box, saved by Kelleher. And then moments later, he has another shot towards goal, but this time he skies it over the bar. And at 87th minute, Diaz and McAllister are substituted for McConnell, and a first-team debut for Jayden Danns, who I particularly remember having a great game against the Arsenal under-23s, I believe it is, a few weeks ago, beating them 9-1, I believe the result was, and scoring one hell of a free kick. So a proud moment for the youngster and his family there. 89th minute, Danns actually makes an instant impact as he threads a lovely through ball to Gakpo. He tried to pass it towards Elliott, but his pass was blocked by the Luton defense. And for some reason, it looked like time just froze as the ball was loose around the edge of the box. No player grabbed onto it, but it was Harvey Elliott who reacted first and smashes the ball into the top corner. What a finish from our star boy there. And overall, that is the conclusion of the game. A great win for Liverpool in the end. Our consecutive 4-1 result. So that's 8 goals in 2 games. First half was a bit frustrating. I don't think we deserved to be trailing at that stage. But we just didn't really have any impetus on getting a goal. We were very gun-shy, I would say, in the first half. But second half, we really turned up and hit another gear. Now, this was labeled as a potential banana skin due to the number of injuries that we currently have, but we weathered the storm fantastically and can now focus on the big game this Sunday in the League Cup final against Chelsea. So many positives to take from this game. A lot of standout performances who will be knocking on the door to start this weekend. Seeing a few youngsters on the pitch with the likes of Jayden Danns making his debut today. And also, more importantly, we're getting a huge win with 10 players injured. So we truly are the mentality monsters. So a great evening all round for Liverpool. So let's do the player ratings. This is a calling show, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the floor is yours. I have put a pinned comment in the live chat. And if you'd like to come on, feel free to wait backstage and I'll get you on after the player ratings. But before we do, I can see we've got a few comments here. So let's start with the first one. So that's a big up, Ozzie. Good result for us tonight. Fantastic result. Yeah, another 4-1. So not bad at all. Increases our goal difference, which is fantastic. So yeah, a great win considering the amount of injuries we have as well. And then Jay Kismet says, bless bro, you never walk alone. Bless up yourself, Jay Kismet. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in. And then we've got some more comments here. That's the sound. And then Daz asks, do you Mo and Nunes could be back for Sunday, Ozzie? It's touch and go, to be honest. I think they're monitoring both players right now. My gut instinct is saying that they will both be playing this Sunday. Whether they start is debatable. I think Salah will start. Nunes, I think Nunes might as well, to be fair. I do think they have a chance of playing this weekend. But I think we'll get further news or further updates probably around Friday, where normally Klopp has a midday press conference. But no sort of concrete news with regards to their chances of starting this weekend. But if I'm going with gut instinct, I think they'll both take part in the cup final. So let's do the player rating. So I will present the graphics. If you're watching live, feel free to drop your ratings and let me know what you guys think. So let's start with Kelleher. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with him today. Not to be around the bush. I think he was probably our worst player today, if I'm being brutally honest. The goal, and I'm not going to just pinpoint saying his reason for that goal, but that save was just, I've looked at the replay a few times, it seems a bit bizarre. Tries to jump and then save it with the bottom of his studs. I don't know what he was thinking. You can't really get beaten in that kind of angle. So I feel like he should have done much better to save. And I feel like it affected his confidence afterwards because he looked really shaky with aerial sort of challenges where he was punching the ball. Didn't look convincing in aerial challenge at all. Shot stop. He made 1 or 2 routine saves, which you expect. His kicking didn't really have any sort of, I don't know what to say. It didn't really have any sort of drive in terms of moving the ball quickly. Yeah, he just lacked confidence in the end, which, I understand, but it was just one goal at the time. It wasn't like we were trailing by a number of goals. So one goal, shrug it off and keep it moving. I don't think he produced a good account of himself, which gives me a slight worry into the upcoming final this Sunday, as Alisson's not available for that game. So, but yeah, in terms of today's performance, I wasn't impressed. So this might be a harsh rating for the player, but I have to keep it 100 with you guys. I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. I don't think he was that good today. After that, we could see that goal. I think the defense was so solid, and that's probably why you'll see good ratings for my defenders right now. So let's start with Joe Gomez. For me, another solid performance from him. Whether he's playing left back, right back, he knows what he's doing. So yeah, very solid performance from him. Very effective as well, where he was pushed up a little bit as well, inverted a couple of times. But yeah, he just never really gave the ball away, kept it simple, wasn't troubled by Ogbene at all, in my opinion. The goal, yes, maybe he should have been a bit better in terms of the marking there. But I feel like he was caught a bit by surprise from Kelleher not making any contact with the ball. And because it kind of hit his bottom of his studs, it probably just fizzed in the area where I think Gomez just didn't know how to read it. So even before that actually happened, that cross, Endo was pretty much out of possession. So maybe another player at fault for that goal. But hey, overall, I thought he had a very solid game. Even when he switched over to right back, I thought he was really good. So I'm going Joe Gomez an 8 out of 10. Tried to score today as well. Wasn't to be. When he plays left, I feel like that is the role where he cuts in and tries to take a shot. Hopefully he gets his goal later in the season. Van Dijk for me was phenomenal today. Really, really solid. The goal itself, fantastic. I want to see Van Dijk scoring more goals from set pieces. He's got the presence. He's got the ability to score those type of headers, and I feel like he can do it on a more consistent basis. So no, from an attacking point of view, obviously scored the goal for us that really helped start up or put us into another game where we really went for it afterwards. But yeah, defensively, really, really solid. I remember there being one moment where Ogbene was on the verge of using his blistering speed and hit a counter attack. And then you see Van Dijk, which, you know, he's been criticized for. He showed urgency in this time, went as fast as he could to try and block that shot, and ended up getting the ball and gave it back to Kelleher. So just a moment there where he showed his quality there, and he was just solid throughout, kept the defensive line very, very compact. So no, a very, very solid performance from him. Cruz scored the second one with that second header from the corner, but it wasn't to be. So for me, I'm actually giving Van Dijk a 9 out of 10. Kwanzaa for me had a good game as well. There were moments in the games where I feel like he was out of possession quite a few times, but he made some crucial blocks. There was that one block when we scored our goal, and Luton, I think when it was 3-1, Luton tried to hit us on a counter attack. Well, not a counter attack. It was pretty much a counter. They literally did it from kickoff, and yeah, he made a crucial save there. And then after, he did improve later on in the game. So no, I think he had a solid game today. So with that said, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Conor Bradley, what a great performance from him yet again. I love the fact that in the second half, he was pretty much everywhere. He was on the left side, he was in the middle of the park, he was right wing, tried to make things happen. I think that free roll gave us a little bit of a spark because he was just making things happen, really, really efficient on the ball. And yeah, he almost scored. He had a shot that was deflected, and Kaminsky made a great save. No, great to see him back in the first team. Really positive performance. Yeah, I'm kind of happy Klopp did substitute him at the hour mark. We definitely need him in this week's cup final. So yeah, at that stage, we were pretty much going to secure the win. So yeah, good substitution from Klopp there. And in terms of his performance, another great performance from Conor Bradley. So for me, he gets an 8.5 out of 10. Endo, for me, had a good game. Quiet opening 20 minutes, I would say. And then all of a sudden, he just started spraying balls around, showed great tenacity in some of his challenges. And yeah, kept it really solid for us. Great foil for our back line. Did the dirty work when required. No, he was everywhere. So very, very good performance from Endo once again. So for me, he gets an 8 out of 10. Gravenberch, for me, had a good game as well. I think he gets a bit of a mixed reception from Liverpool fans. You have to remember, he's only 20, 21 years old. So still a young player learning his trade. But I thought he was very good today. Kept everything neat and tidy. I love it when he does that half turn because at times he's very unbeatable in that situation. So it's good to see when he does that half turn, he's got a good sprint on him as well. Quick on the ball, trying to make things happen. Had a couple of shots in the first half. So he's definitely getting involved from an attacking point of view. Defensively as well, did his job. Made some tackles here and there. I thought he had a good game all round. So for me, an 8 out of 10 as well. McAllister really livened up in the second half, ended up producing 2 assists, one coming from the corner kick for Van Dijk's goal, and the other one was Gakpo's header, where he just lofted it into the 6-yard box, and Gakpo guided the header. Fantastic performance from him. I think last game I was really impressed with him playing this right-sided number 8 role. I feel like he's growing into it. And the beauty about McAllister is that he can play 6 as effective and he can play as a number 8. So we've got a player that can play 2 positions to a very high level. So he's invaluable squad member for sure. And yeah, a great performance from McAllister again. So for me, he gets an 8.5 out of 10 today. Harvey Elliott, yeah, he did his thing today. He was everywhere. Never gave up from the opening minute. Tried to make things happen. I think him and Diaz were the 2 players, especially in the first half, that were just trying to just be sort of like the front liners where they were trying to make things happen in the final third, using their speed, using their skill. Passing was good from Elliot as well, and he managed to get his goal, which I think was fully deserved. A nice finish from the youngster as well. So for Elliot, I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Gakpo for me had a quiet first half, but there was that moment in the second half where I remember Harvey Elliott driving the ball from his own half, and then when he got into the box, I think he got tripped over by, I think it's the defender's Bell, and then as he just tripped over, he was still the ball was still loose, and you see Gakpo just take it over, and then hit that low shot towards the near post, and that was the corner kick that led to Van Dijk's goal. So from there on, it just sparked. He showed more urgency in his play. I think in the first half, he showed good touches in terms of on the ball, but I think in terms of his pressing, he was a bit lackluster in my opinion. But second half, he really raised it up and played to a different level, a new gear, if you have to call it that way. So, no, he definitely improved, and I feel like it's a good confident boost for him getting on the back of the score sheet. He scored against Brentford, scored today as well. So his confidence should be sky high right now, and going into a cup final where he might possibly start. Even if Núñez is available, he might not be risked at the start of the game. So Gakpo has a big role to play in our quest to win some silverware this weekend. So for me, another good performance from him. So I'm going to give him an 8 out. Oh, sorry, wrong player. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Luis Diaz for me took over that Captain Chaos role that Núñez plays, because he was everywhere today. From the opening minute, that left-hand side, bombard that Luton defense non-stop. They didn't know how to mark him because he ended up playing a bit of a free role himself, where he was a bit everywhere. He was on the right side at times, on the left, through the middle. I feel like he maybe should have scored more than the one goal. But having said that, I was really impressed with his output, trying his best, never giving up, even if something hasn't gone to plan in terms of his passing or shooting. It's just swept away. He keeps on going. And that's the kind of attitude I want from him. I want him to be like a maverick in our team, where he makes things like that happen. He doesn't need to just be the team player where he's just, hustling and bustling for the guys. I want him to get the ball and show his flair and show his skill and show his freedom on the pitch as well when he plays. So, yeah, the more we see of this Luis Diaz, the more I'm sure we'll get the reward into the goals and assists in the upcoming games this season. So, no, very, very impressed with Luis Diaz. So my ranking for Luis Diaz is a 9.5. Drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of my rating. Is 9.5 high for Diaz, or is it rightly given? Drop a comment and let me know. So as you can see, with that kind of rating there's only one person that will be man of the match, and that is Luis Diaz. So he is my man of the match today. So yeah, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. Let me go through some of the comments here. Let's start with Daz's first comment. You've gone 4.5 for Kelleher. Yeah, so we're kind of on the same wavelength there. And 8.5 for Gomez, which is fair enough. Drunk Virgo, thank you for your comment and thank you for tuning in. Van Dijk was solid. He certainly was. He was fantastic today. Richard Hutchinson says, hi and big up Ozzie and the LFC fans. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam to you as well. Blessed to all brothers and sisters around the world. Can't wait for the Liverpool fans' day out to Wembley on Sunday versus Chelsea. Peace, love, and respect. Yeah, certainly. Really looking forward to the final this weekend, especially after this victory, where I think we all of us had one eye on the final. So yeah, it was good to see the fact that we won in style. Slight concern in the first half where we were trailing, but yeah, we got the job done in the end, which is key to our Premier League campaign right now. And then we've got Daz saying bless up to Vigo. And then Daz says 7.5 for Van Dijk, good performance. Fair enough. And then Drunk Vigo says my man of the match is controversial. So let's see as we scroll down. Daz is giving Kwanzaa a 9. Bradley an 8.5. And then Drunk Vigo says, I like seeing Endo on the ground during that free kick. I noticed that he looked like he was relaxing there, to be fair. He didn't look phased by that whatsoever. I think he was ready to take a ball on his face if he had to. So, yeah, fair play to him. And then Drunk Vigo says, doing the dirty work. Yeah, that's why we've got him on the team. And I feel like he's been sort of like the unsung hero this season, in my opinion. I know some fans have kind of like spoken about it in more detail, but yeah, he's really, really stepped it up. So your man of the match is Elliot. That's not bad, Sean. I wouldn't say that's a wild take at all. I thought he was fantastic today. And then you've gone on to say in the second half, Elliot, to me, felt like the most dangerous player. Yeah, I think he did. He was on the ball a lot more, tried to make things happen. So yeah, that's not a bad shout at all in terms of you labeling him as your man of the match. And then we've got Tramvigo says Diaz had a great effort. Finishing was pretty bad. That's probably one area I feel like Diaz needs to improve on a little bit, is the consistency of his finishing, because he gets in great positions. But yeah, sometimes kind of like what we spoke about with Nunes, where sometimes he's a bit erratic in front of goal. But I feel like with Diaz, I don't know, in terms of his shooting selection, is not there all the time. Like he had a couple of chances today where I was on the verge of just putting my arms in there thinking it's going to go into the back of the net, and he's been blocked or he's gone hit straight at the keeper. So I feel like that's something he really needs to work on. Because I think, yeah, the amount of space he creates for himself and gets into goal scoring opportunities on his own, I feel like he can score a lot more goals for Liverpool. And then we've got Diaz, not my man of the match, but looked eager all game. Fair enough, Jay Kismet. So that's the last comment I can see there. And I can see a couple of callers on. So I will bring, do you know what? Let's bring both of them on at the same time. Why not? It'll be Frank, and we've got Jay Kismet. So, fellas, how are you doing today? Frank, how are you today?
I'm good. And it's before you start questioning me, it's the old cliche, isn't it? A game of 2-0.
It really was.
That's what it was.
It really was. No, that's probably the best way to describe it, because I don't think we were that bad in the first half, but it was just unfortunate that we were trailing because they didn't really present too much of an offense, in my opinion. But yeah, second half, we just turned up as a new team. It was a different outfit altogether. And that sort of that 10-minute period where we just scored 2-3 goals was just, yeah, that's the Liverpool that we expect. So yeah, good to see us performing in that manner. Jay Kismet, how you doing, sir?
I'm all good, bro. I hope you're well. Hope you're well, Frank.
I'm well, thanks, JK. Yeah, I'm very well after today.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
That result sorted us all out,
Yeah, that result was definitely what we needed. Who were your standout performers today? I'll start with Frank.
I'm going to go with Diaz, and I'll tell you for why.
Yeah.
Even in the first half, he never stopped harassing their defence. Every time he got the ball, he was so direct. He was hammering at he was just unlucky. Sometimes the ball got stuck between his feet. He was so unlucky.
Yeah.
And in the second half, he just carried on from the first half. And he got his goal. And that goal was brilliant. And the confidence that must give him, especially for Sunday, is it's just I can't explain how. I felt for him because he tried and tried and tried and tried. And when he finally took that player on and just hit it, bang, goal, you could see the relief in him. You could see the relief in the whole of the team, especially when Virgil scored, and he said, come on, let's go. And we knew then, and after the second goal, by Gakpo, we just knew that they were just going to steamroll them. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Diaz was my man of the match as well. When he scored that goal, you can see the relief just over his face. I think it was just frustration because there were quite a few shots where I was thinking maybe he's thinking it's going to hit the back of the net, but somehow defenders blocked it, or the goalkeeper somehow got a hand to it. And you can even see it in the crowd, and you can see his dad as well, who was in the stands today, jubilant when his son scored. So yeah, it was thoroughly deserved. Maybe should have scored more if I have to really critique him. But no, I like the fact that, you know, even if he's missing chances here and there, he keeps going. He doesn't really like affect his confidence as the game goes on. So that's a trait of a top player there, where, you know, it doesn't phase him. He keeps going and tries to do the best for his team.
Well,
so
his head doesn't drop. Ozzie, his head doesn't drop. He keeps trying and trying. And I'm glad you made him man of the match, you know, because, as I said, he just kept on direct. He's a direct footballer. He goes and goes and goes. And as you said, and as I said myself, you know, you could see the relief on his face after he scored, and that was it. Then he was brought off, you know, to give him a little rest for Sunday, you know.
No, most definitely. Jake Kismet, who was your man of the match?
I would say I had about 2 or 3 players I would say played really well. McAllister, Gomez, Elliott, Diaz, and Gakpo, I think, and Virgil, I would say. But Diaz, for me, he looked the most eager out of most of them. I wouldn't say he's my man of the match. I'll give that to, say, McAllister. But I think I like the responsibility he took on him and Gakpo. We never had Jota, Salah, and Darwin, and thought, you know what, it's just today, we have to do it. And even Elliott popped up with the goal. So I'm pretty happy that the front three all did something for the game, you know. But all in all, I think second half is what Frank said. It was a game of 2 halves. That first half was pretty terrible, and I wasn't really nervous. I just didn't know where our goal was going to come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the problem. Before we had Salah, Darwin, and Jota, one of the 3 would get 2 goals, no problem. I just didn't see Gakpo and Diaz first half getting anything, but second half, I think Klopp's he's a magician at half time. He works wonders, man. I don't know what he does. He must go around slapping them. You know what he did in the last game when he slaps everyone. I didn't know. That's what he does.
Did you notice, JK and Ozzie? Did you notice at the end? You know when he gives the fist pump?
Yeah.
He always gives it to the cop, but he went around each section around.
Yeah.
You know, the ground, and you could tell. You know, but before his interview, by the way, you know, his post-match interview, you could tell how delighted he was. But he was delighted not only, like, obviously the win or whatever, he was delighted for the kids, because he knew that those kids had run through a brick wall for him. And he sent them on. He sent them on, not afraid. And those kids showed up. That sounds, I think he's great, that kid.
Yeah, he looked good. I think I forgot to rank the substitutes, but yeah, he came on. I think it was his first touch where he provided that through ball to Gakpo, and then Gakpo obviously tried to pass it in, and then it led to Elliott scoring. But yeah, I saw him in the Arsenal game, and he was quite impressive. Scored a lovely free kick about a month ago. So yeah, you know, this is the beauty of our team right now. A lot of people are doubting Liverpool, not really considering us as title contenders right now. The Arsenal fans are overlooking us. City fans are thinking this is going to be a walk in the park. But just look at our squad right now. We've got about 10 injuries to our senior team. We're playing youngsters, and the youngsters that are coming on, they're making a big impression in the team. Even Bobby Clark, when he came on, he had a good few touches, could have scored today himself. McConnell's a very neat and tidy player on the ball. And then, as we just mentioned, Jayden Dan's making his debut today for the first team. So look, whenever these youngsters come on, they play with huge confidence. And I think that comes from Klopp, where he doesn't put pressure on these kids. They're like, look, go out there and express yourself. And that's the beauty of our manager, where he lets everyone play their game. And right now, every squad player this season has stepped up. There hasn't been one player that's been a passenger, in my opinion. And that's the reason why we're in all fronts right now, in all competitions where we're competing. And, you know, there's always been talks about Liverpool where, Oh, what Liverpool going to do when Trent Alexander-Arnold's not playing? Oh, what Liverpool going to do when Salah's not here? You keep names dropping all of these players, but somehow we're managing to notch up all the wins game by game, and we look strong. And I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I have more confidence going into this cup final, despite the injuries that we have, because a lot of players, Jay Kismet named about 6 players that could be man of the match. A lot of players stepped up today. So for me, that gives a lot of confidence this weekend.
Can I ask you, you and JK, Ozzie, can I ask you this? What about Gravenberch? Because the last game he played, he seemed to improve.
Yeah.
You know, after the injuries, and he came on. And then, you know, he has a good game. Well, the second half wasn't against Brentford. He had a very good second half. And then when he got the start today, I thought, this is my opinion, I want your opinion to be honest. I thought he had a very, very good game. You know, he was all over the place. He cried and whatever. So what was your take on Gravenberch?
No, I thought he had a very solid game today. I think in terms of his overall game, he was very neat and tidy. He didn't really give the ball away. I mentioned earlier, I like the way when he does like a half turn and gets away from players. He's very unbeatable due to, I think, his frame in terms of his speed as well. He's got a good burst of speed when he gets on the ball. He's a confidence player right now. You know, I don't want to make excuses for the guy, but obviously being inactive last year with Bayern Munich, it's kind of hampered his development a little bit. He's still a young kid, he's like 20 years old. So I feel like when he plays with more confidence. But when he has 1 or 2 bad games, it does kind of ruin his sort of rhythm going into next games. But I feel like today he was good, and I think it came off from the last game against Brentford where he showed a good account of himself. And I feel like he's realised because of Curtis Jones being injured now, this is time to shine now, where he can really get a stake in this team. And I thought he did a decent job. I think if he gets a goal or 2, I think his confidence will go even higher. That's just my opinion. I feel like he's that type of player where when things go well for him, he can be unstoppable. So I have a lot of expectations for Gravenberch. I've been following his career since Ajax days. So a player that I have a lot of expectations from. So yeah, I think he's in a good mood for this final. I'm expecting him to start as well with Curtis Jones not being available. So yeah, I rate him very highly. I think fans need to be a little bit patient with him as well. I think fans were expecting him to, you know, raise the roof up straight away as soon as he signs for Liverpool. Some players just got to give them time to develop, get used to a different league, a different dynamic in terms of the team, because we don't play the way Bayern Munich play. We're a slightly different team. So no, I got high hopes for him, and I think next season we'll see sort of his true potential in Liverpool colours. Jay Kismet, what would you say about Gravenberch?
It's like this. Like, you remember back in the days when you play for a Sunday league team and the boss and you didn't really get on, and you know you're going to be on the bench. So what's happens there is mentally you're not ready to play football. But when you got a manager and you know every Sunday you're playing up front, like Salah, for example, you're going to give 100%. And that's the problem with footballers. Footballers want to play games. And when they know, like Gravenberch knows now, from the Brentford game, he's going to play Luton and he's going to play Chelsea. So he's mentally getting ready for them games. And today you can see it again. I was watching out, Frank, if he fell over in the first few minutes. But he was all right today. But what I like about him is what you were saying, Ozzie, about his turn of pace. He finds space and he takes advantage of that space pretty quickly, and I like that. And that's what, for me, his speciality can be in midfield when he plays. Yep.
No, I definitely agree on that one.
Well, you know, in the last couple of games he's played, second half against Brentford and also the full game tonight, you know, the start tonight, you're right about his turns. And I think that's one of his assets, because he can't turn and leave players behind. The only, I don't like saying this, but the only fault sometimes, instead of passing the ball, because he did it once, he had a great run, And he should have put us out to the right into the penalty area. Forget he was running onto it, to be honest.
Gakpo.
But he had to go, unfortunately, and it was a bit of a weak shot. Where he would have, if he would have passed it, could have been a lot more danger for the Luton's defence. That's just my opinion. And they're the little faults that could be ironed out, and it could be ironed out on Sunday, because I think he will be playing. Because as you said, Ozzie, Jones is out, and I'll tell you this now: Nunes and Salah will be playing along with Diaz.
Agreed.
Start forward line on there Sunday.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think they've been rested today with one eye on that final. There was no point of risking them, because obviously Klopp hasn't really mentioned much in terms of the status of their injuries or whatnot. But I feel like he's just pretty much rested them today, knowing the fact that we've got players that can do the job, and rightly so. I would have wanted Salah to have started. I think I would have wanted him to play probably like an hour just so he can get back into his rhythm. But having said that, he's been out for a few weeks, so it was probably the right call from Klopp to just say, don't need to take part in this game, rest up and get ready for the final on Sunday. So no, I agree. I think with Gravenberch, it's those are the details that will be a differentiation of if he's going to become a top player or not. Because in the final third, even as a midfielder, you still need to have that sort of inkling of threading through balls to your attackers and chipping in with the goal here and there as well. He has it in his locker. I've seen it for when he used to play for Ajax. He can definitely shoot a ball. It's just a confidence thing. I think once he finds that rhythm, I think we've got a top player in our hands, and he's a player that can play in different roles. So he can play as a number 8, which he's currently doing in our formation. But if required, can even play in a double pivot, can even play as a number 10 with more of a free role. So a player that has a long-term future, in my opinion. Let's talk about the final, guys. How are you feeling now, looking forward to the League Cup final this Sunday?
I'll let JK go first.
Well, I would say we will win it, because what Frank said, that Darwin and Salah will be starting, hopefully. So we put Luton over. Say it again, sorry, Ozzie.
That's a fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So I think with Klopp, I'm pretty impressed with Klopp saying, look, Gakpo and Diaz can take care of Luton, and he sticked with that. And we didn't have nothing off the bench. There was Andy Robertson was the only one we could have brought on who maybe would have done something. But all in all, we had no one on the bench. Yeah. So for me, Gakpo's sort of hitting form as well. So it might be that he starts and Darwin on the bench and Salah starts. Maybe. It depends. See how Klopp sees it, and where Darwin might come on a sub or vice versa. I'm not sure. But I think Chelsea will see that result today and think, oh, they got half the team out, and look, they put 4 past Luton. So that's how it works, football. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, I think I go along with you there, to be honest, JK, because they've been looking at that. They've looked at the first half and went, we can have these. But the second half, as I said, it was a game of 2 halves. No matter how you look at the full game, it was a game of 2 halves. And that must have frightened them. We're half a team out. So most of the team out, put it that way. And I think we're going to give them a go. I think we'll beat them. I really think we'll beat them, because we've got the measure of Chelsea. We have the measure of Chelsea. And they won't be relishing playing us. They will not be relishing playing us. And that's just my opinion.
No, I co-sign both of what you said. I think with Chelsea fans, they're probably a bit more positive because of that draw against City over the weekend. So I'd love to burst that bubble when we face them this Sunday. I think they have a lot of injuries as well, so they line up even with the strongest outfit. I still feel like we can beat them. So I don't fear this Chelsea team. It's just that when it comes to finals, it's a one-off game, so anything can happen. But on paper, I feel like we have the quality to really win handsomely, if I'm being honest. The good thing from today's performance is the fact that the squad players, the Elliots, the Gakpos, even if they don't start in the next game in the final, we know they're raring to go from the bench. And that's the difference. When you've got hungry players like that who know that they had a good game recently and they can make a big impression on the team and maybe even help us with the victory, that's a hungry squad. And that's the, I would say, one of Klopp's main strength as a manager. He always makes sure the squad players feel a part of the main objective of the team. So no, I'm looking forward to it.
And that's why I was saying, like, I heard some moans about Gakpo throughout the months and stuff, and I was always saying to these guys, listen, he's trying to get into a system where only 3 players out of the 5 can play. And out of them 3, you got Salah, who's 100% starting every game. So you got 2 positions for 4 players. And Gakpo has never moaned. He's always smiling. No. And he's proven in the last 2 games, he's up for a fight. You know, he's ready to play. He scored 2 goals. And this is what people need to understand about football. It's a squad game. And it's good to see that Klopp sees that as well. You know, if we didn't have them 5 attackers, it would have been problems today. I don't know who would have played up top. You know what I mean? So that's why it's big squad, 5 attackers, maybe 6 is probably a better thing, you know. But we need them because the amount of games we're playing, we're in every competition. We need a big squad.
Yeah. Don't forget, you know, he's in Gakpo. That is, he's in double figures. He's in double figures because he seems to score in every game. You notice he just seems to score in every game, whether it's a header or a shot. And he's always there or thereabouts. Because that ball by McAllister, you know, the header goal, he just whacked it, didn't he? He whacked it. Like and he got his head to it, bang, goal. You know, no one would have saved that. Nobody would have, not even Alisson would have saved that. You know, so he's always there in the right place to score his little goals that he does. And the one against Brentford, you know, people might think, oh, yeah, it was an easy goal, 1 on so on. It was the way he placed it and bent it, you know, to show that the goalkeeper couldn't get nowhere near it if he did dive away. Yeah. And it was a very good goal. Very good.
Yeah, I think Gakpo doesn't get the praise. I think, especially this season. I know last season when we signed him, he had a positive impact. You know, obviously scoring goals against United in the 7-0 victory there. But I think people just expected him to continue that form onwards. But when you've got so many attackers in our squad, we are going to, pretty much what Jay Kidman said, we are going to rotate quite a lot depending on the opposition. So there'll be certain games where Gakpo suits the opposition. I think today there was the right opposition because the way they have their midfield set up, having a player that can drop deep a little bit can have an influence on the game as well at the same time. So having a Nunes would probably have been better coming off the bench if he was available. So look, whenever he's come on, he's done a decent job for the team. I mean, he's always getting goals and it's different variations of goals as well. Today was a header. Last week was a clinical finish. He can play on the left comfortably. He can play in the center. Even with Quietly can play in midfield. You know, we've got less numbers in midfield right now. It's not his best position. Offensively, he's great. Obviously, defensively is an area where is a slight concern. But Klopp's mentioned in the past, he's a player that gives his all whenever he's on the pitch. And you can tell he's got a good mentality as well. He's not someone that's going to sulk about not starting every game. I feel like he sees the bigger picture in terms of what we're trying to achieve. You know, when you're trying to go for 4 trophies, you're not going to start every game. Obviously, you'll have a player like Mohamed Salah who will start most games. But in other squads, look at the other squads. You're seeing the likes of Arsenal where Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka, they hardly get rotated. And that's probably why they haven't been as potent in front of goal as they were last season. So the reason why we're doing so well, I feel like it's because we're rotating the squad, but the players are refreshed as well at certain parts of the season. And I feel like that's going to have a great impact going forward. So look, I think Gakpo is a fantastic player. I'm glad he scored today. I feel like it's going to be great for his confidence. And going into the final, not only are the first 11 going to be up for it, I think the players on the bench, they're eager to get on as well. So
I think JK hit the nail on the head there when he said a minute or two ago that Gapco's head never drops.
No.
Even, you know, when he's sitting on the bench, he's always smiling, and that's the lad. That is the lad. And when he comes on, he just gives it 110%. He really does. And he's, you know, he's rewarded with his goals, the little goals that he scores, and he's in double figures. You know, we can't take that away from him.
No.
He's in double figures.
And this is what I was on about yesterday, Frank, about Cavalier and maybe Doak as well. They've got this sort of attitude on their face, you know, where Gakpo, totally different guy. Like, and that's what I was saying about Klopp. He likes them type of personalities in the squad. He don't want no sulkers. He wants guys who maybe not as good as, say, Messi or Maradona, but he knows with their mindset and their mentality, they will get through it, you know. And Gakpo, for me, he keeps on smiling, keeps on scoring. You can't ask for more, man.
Well, I've always said, JK, as well, the camaraderie between the players. And I'm talking about the players who don't get on the pitch, who come out and they're all made up. They're delighted. You know, after the game, they're not sulking, they're not doing anything like that. And that's the camaraderie between every single player. Every single player.
That's not coincidence, in my opinion. That's coming from Klopp. And that's always been our squad over the years, where he manages, because that's a trait that I don't think every manager has, where you're keeping everyone happy, because you'll always hear rumors from other clubs where it's like, oh, that player wants to leave because he's not played certain games. You very rarely hear that in a Klopp team. So that comes from the manager, that comes from, I think even when we buy players, I think we don't just buy them based on talent. It comes based on their personality and certain traits and characteristics as well. That's been researched and analyzed before we even sign these players. So that's something where he knows when a player comes in, they will pretty much settle in quite soon. And all of the players that we sign, they all have a sort of similar mentality and they're all on the same wavelength. And I feel like that's evident in terms of our current squad right now. So no, it's very, very positive, I think, going into the final. Just got a comment here from Richard saying we need to improve in the first half. That's something I think we certainly do. We can be quite flat, I think, in certain games in the first half. Against Chelsea, a team that I think they're going to try and play the low block on us, if I'm being honest. So we need to go, I would say, not all guns blazing, but be aggressive in the opening 20 minutes, get a goal, and then that will definitely open up space going into the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it kicked off tonight, we were all over them. We were pressing.
Yeah, we were. The opening couple of minutes. Yeah,
we were great, you know, when we kicked off, because we did all that pressing. It was only like in the final third that let us down. That's all. And as I said about Diaz was all over the place. He was terrorising their defence.
Yeah,
he was terrorising them. And I was absolutely delighted when he actually scored. You know, and you could see the relief. You could see it. It's just like Núñez when he scored that unbelievable goal against Brentford.
Beautiful goal.
You know what? It does get mentioned, Ozzie, this, and you, as you know, JK, it does get mentioned. The pass of the season is the header by Jota. He was looking at the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He kept looking at it, never took his eyes off it. He knew where, like, Núñez came from around the D of our area, you know. He ran. And he just kept on running because he knew what, you know, if he did get the ball, Jota, which he did, that header right in front of him. And just, you know, right in front of Núñez, that is. And he just went on and scored. That's the goal of the season. Never mind big shots from outside the area and all this, you know. That was the goal of the season, absolutely. And I mentioned this last night, Ozzie. If you look at that, I know I'm digressing from tonight's game, I'm sorry. But if you look at that Núñez goal, try and look at from their perspective, Brentford's, because they floated the ball into our area. And as that ball was floating over, have a look at Virgil. He was getting fouled by their big player. I don't know whether he's a big centre forward or a big, you know, big centre back. but he was getting fouled.
Yeah.
And that's the greatness of this Virgil of ours. He was getting, and he just knew, to whack it up. It wasn't like just like clear your line sort of thing. He knew that our lads would be there, especially Jota, and he just oofed it up and bang, he went on and scored. A fantastic goal of the season for me.
Yeah, beautiful goal.
3 touches. Yep, 3 touches from our box. Goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy. Bang, bang, bang. And that's for me, Liverpool. I don't really see City do that a lot, but we seem to do that quite often where 1, 2 touches, 3 touches, we're getting a goal. So that's what I like about our football. It's a bit unpredictable sometimes, but yeah. Like I didn't expect that when Virgil cleared that ball. I just thought, I wish Nunes was running. That's all I wish, because I just seen the ball go high. But all of a sudden, I seen Jota header. I thought, okay. And I knew Darwin would score. I just knew. I said, I was waiting for him to chip. All season, I was waiting for him to chip the goalkeeper. And then he did it. I said, there you go. That's what you got to do. So hopefully he's fit for Saturday, for Sunday. Hopefully he's fit.
I'll tell you now, both of them, Salah and Nunes, will be playing. You know, I'm worried about Diaz, actually. Did you notice in the first half, this fella went into him and we got the corner, when he went in, and I thought he might have scored, to be honest. But anyway, forget that. He was holding his hip and his rib cage, and he was holding it all through the game. I don't know whether you noticed that, but he was. And it's just it's not, bad, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, hopefully it's just temporary knock where it's got no sort of long-lasting effect. So yeah, hopefully it's nothing to that nature. But yeah, guys, give me your score predictions for this cup final coming up.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go then, bro.
All right, I'll give you the score. I think it's going to be tight, but I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win. Funny enough, I said Virgil had scored tonight, didn't I, JK? I said he'd score.
Yeah.
I did say that. From a set piece as well.
Exactly.
PK. And he had to have a look at another one, actually. Anyway, I think he'll score against them, and it will be from another set piece. I'll give the score as 2-1. I think we'll go 2-0 ahead. They'll score, and it's biting your nails time. But I think we will come through as and win it.
Fair enough. Jake, isn't it?
Because I remember yesterday Frank saying that Virgil's going to score from a corner set piece or something, and it was weird. When I seen his face when he was going for that corner, I knew he was going to score. It was just a weird, you get that feeling sometimes. You just know you're going to score, and that was that moment, Frank. And I remember yesterday you said it. So for me, 3-1 on Sunday. 3-1. That's okay. I only wish Kelleher. The only problem I have with Kelleher is this: he lets too many balls that are near to him either go through him, or like today, the ball was close to him. But he let goals in when the ball's close to him. So for me, that because I think he's okay with his feet. He knows how to position himself. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? And he does the odd good save. But it's just that one where he needs to concentrate on the ball when it's close to him, get something on it. And I think today maybe he could have kept his legs closed, made himself bigger. I'm not sure, but that's the only issue I have with him.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have gone through. But for me, 3-1 for Sunday, it'd be sound.
No, I like the sound of that. Frank, Jake Ismet, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate your time as always. And yeah,
Great,
hopefully
bro.
we'll be in better spirits on Sunday evening. So yeah, hope to see you guys soon as well.
You'll have to come on my show.
Yeah, give me a shout. I think Jay Kismet asked me the other day, but yeah, next time you're on live, just send me a message. I'll try and come on, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Ozzie. Thank you so
All
much.
right,
See you
take
soon,
care.
mate.
Cheers,
Hopefully
guys.
on my
Thank you.
show. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye bye.
Take care, Frank.
And you, JK.
Take care.
Tomorrow morning.
I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Take care, bye.
So yeah, so that was Frank and Jay Kismet there giving their views on the game and obviously looking forward to the final. Just gonna go through some comments. Got another call in the back as well. So Richard said kids are our future for Liverpool FC. It looks evident, doesn't it? Jaden Dans came on today as well. Seems a bit lightweight, got pushed around a couple of times, but that touch, that pass that he gave to Gakpo was of top quality there. So yeah, we've got some good youngsters coming through, but even the likes of Conor Bradley in the team, who I don't think he's dropped a performance less than a 7 or 8 out of 10 since coming to the first team. So yeah, the future's bright. Can't lie at all. And then we've got Uncle Roz, who says big up. So why not get the man on the show now? So Uncle Roz, how you doing, sir?
Listen, it's always good to be in your presence, my friend. You know that. You know what I mean?
Of course. How you feeling today?
I'm good. Sorry for a little darkness. Just that I'm downstairs, not upstairs. You know what I mean?
Go for it. That's all good.
Listen, first half wasn't the best.
No.
Yeah. But saying that, there were some players in the first half that were trying. Do you know what I mean? I just don't. I think this team in the day hasn't really played together. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I think it was more or less getting used to each other. Do you know what I mean? And then so they was trying to do it in the first half. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't the best. Do you know what I mean? I mean, even I was frightened. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna either be a draw or we might lose it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, but like Kelleher as well. I thought he was good. Not the best in the first half. I think that goal that they scored, it was a bit unlucky because if you check it now, Chong, he's crossed. He's like a cross shot. He went for the shot, and what he's done is come off Kelleher's foot and he's bubbled up. So by the time he's got to get over there, he got that Ofemi or Bemi. I can't pronounce his name.
Ogbeni.
Yeah, Ogbeni. Yeah, you've got him and they sort of like just coming in and bang, he's gone to the back net. So if you look back at it, which I always do anyway. I mean, I've got Liverpool TV, so I always watch the game again. Do you know what I mean? You know, little bits that you missed out on because when you're watching the game, you're in the heat at the moment, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, sort of like he was a bit mildly unlucky for that goal. Do you know what I mean? You know, but after that, his performance was good. Do you know what I mean? You know, he made some good little saves and stuff. So when you look at the first half, yes, we could have played better. You know what I mean? But there were some players in that first half that were trying. And I think it's down to the fact that this team and like, due to the fact that how much injuries we've got, this is the first time this team at the day has really played together. And a lot of them had to step up, i.e. Harvey Elliott, Ryan Gravenberch, and so forth. So then you go into the second half. You know what I mean? They've got used to each other now. So they're right. You know what? Yeah. We're going to play now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he got the second half, and he saw a completely different team. You know what I mean? Because they was used to each other. McAllister and they carried on from where he left off in the first half. Because I thought McAllister was great. Today. He was awesome. Virgil van Dijk, he was awesome. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I've done my player ratings already for tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. And spoiler alert, there's a couple of 10s in there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. But on the whole of the thing, I think a lot of these players they got used to each other and they started to play. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Of course, at the end of the day, we want to see more end product at the end of the day from Luis Diaz. We all want to see that. But I think on the whole, at the end of the day, you can't really fault him for the way that he played today. I thought he played good. Cody Gakpo as well. Do you know what I mean? Once he got his goal, his confidence. Do you know what I mean? His confidence went up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Harvey Elliott. I thought Harvey Elliott in the second half, he was awesome in the second half. You know what I mean? You know, so there's a lot of players at the day that stepped up in that second half. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's down to the fact at the day that sort of like they had to get used to playing together. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
Because the team was put together literally the last minute. I mean, we got like Salah out, which I think he's gonna be. I think he should be out. Okay for Sunday. Nunes is out. Should be okay for Sunday. Do you know what I mean? And then you got some long-term ones, obviously like your Jota, your Curtis Jones, and so forth. Do you know what I mean? So I think on the whole, and I think that they, you know, for the injury crisis was hit, which they got hit. I thought they played very well. I mean, like Kwanzaa, he was quality. He was quality. Connor Bradley, do you know what I mean? It's quality. And even as kids that came on later,
they did their thing.
Oh, how frightening is that at the day when you see these kids come on later, like McDonald and Bobby Clark, and you had the Dans,
Jaden Dans,
Do you see his touches?
That pass for Gakpo was nice.
It was nice already.
It was nice. That was his first touch of the game as well.
Huh?
That was his first touch of the game as well. As soon as he came on, that was his first touch.
I was just like, that was just too nasty, man. That was just heavy. Do you know what I mean? But like, you know, when I look at sort of like the players that we got in the academy that Klopp is giving sort of like chances today, and you see what they're doing in the academy, it's almost like at the day. I know we're going off script and something like that, but like what is? It's almost like that's tailor made for Alonso to come in. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You know what I mean? Because at the day, when you look at it, the day, right? Who does Alonso really have to buy? Probably you can push to say like, you know, one, maybe two players that are push.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need a lot of players, does he? He doesn't need a lot of players. Do you know what I mean? Because at the day, you got the academy and I think he worked well with those academy players. People like your Kwanzaa, people like your Randall, Clark, and all those sort of people that he worked well with them. Do you know what I mean? Because of the fact that they sort of like, you know, of like working with being with Real Sociedad B. You know what I mean? You know, so he's got that experience of like dealing with the kids and developing them. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it was scary to see those kids come on and put on such a performance like that. It was just like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like at the day, if you see those kids on the bench you're not worried. You're literally not worried. You're just like, okay, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? But I thought at the day, so it was a well-deserved win for us tonight. I thought certain players didn't cover themselves in glory in the day in the first half, but however, in the second half, they made up for it. They made up for it, and that's the most important thing in the day. Harvey Elliott's goal was wicked. Yeah. Diaz's goal was good. Oh bloody hell! Virgil van Dijk's goal was good. Do you know what I mean? And even sort of like Gakpo's goal was good. The quick thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a whistle, but bang, back in the net. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know what happened. I was like, I kind of turned away for a minute. I looked back and I saw like everybody's like cheering. I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
It's like Barcelona all over again, isn't it?
I know, innit? Trent Corner. Yeah, but it was a good game. I mean, I was a bit nervy about it, but I just think in the day, once we started scoring in the day, the goals, you felt at the day that we was going to get another one and another one and another one. You know, you just felt like that, and I think if we can keep on playing like that, you know what I mean? You know, the most important thing at the day, if you go down in the first half, not to go 2 goals down. When you go 1 goal down, I think that there's hope you can overturn it. But when it's 2 goals, it's kind of like, you know, it gets a bit hard. It's a bit hard, but it's not saying it can't be done, but it's a bit hard. But you keep on fighting, guys. Keep on fighting. That was an awesome one. That was a really good one. Do you know what I mean? You know?
No, you made some very valid points there. In terms of the game, especially from the first half, I wasn't nervous because the fact that I feel like we started the game really positive. We were really aggressive. I think Diaz had a couple of shots, the opening few minutes, and even when they got their goal, it was just like, for me, it took me by surprise because I didn't see it coming. They didn't really work us in that way to be like, oh, do you know what? They might get another one, or we've got to be really on top of our game. I just thought, you know what? If we keep going, the goals will come. And in the second half, I think it was, like you said, I think you make a good point in terms of the team not playing with each other. It did feel slightly disjointed at times where I think guys weren't really reading the game. The passes was not quite there in the final third. So it makes sense because they haven't played amongst each other. And it takes a bit of time to find that rhythm. And once they did, it was a completely different team in that second half. In terms of that Keller save, I need to watch it again because it just looked like a bizarre one where it was a cross-field kind of shot, but it was like it went underneath him, hit his studs, and it was a bit unlucky in terms of where it ended up. But after that, my concern with Keller is that he looked really shaky afterwards, low in confidence. I think he was a bit more edgy in terms of like when he got the ball, he wasn't really kicking it with like confidence like he normally does because he's really good on the ball. So hopefully, the guys can kind of like rally up on him and just say, look, man, forget it's just one goal. Got more games coming up. He's going to be playing in that final this weekend. So hopefully that doesn't affect his confidence going into that fixture. Diaz is finishing. Yeah, he had a lot of chances, but that's just like a slight critique you have with someone where like, you're getting so many chances, you should be converting. I like the fact that he keeps getting these chances, similar to Nunes, where, people ridicule Nunes saying, oh, he hasn't got a lot of goals, in terms of conversion, but it's a sign of a top player when they're able to just keep going, producing chance after chance, not letting that affect their confidence, because we've probably seen ballers back in the day where if they miss one chance, they're out of the game. They're not involved again. That's still lingering in their head. So I like the fact that he keeps going. It's the same with Diaz and Nunes. And it's probably that South American mentality where it's just like street fighters. They just keep going, never give up. And it's good to see as well. And the fact that we've got so many injuries right now and we're still competing. We've got like 10 injuries right now.
I know it is.
10 first team injuries, and we've got our squad players playing like that. I'm not just saying, oh, it's Luton, we should have like beaten them like on paper. But the thing is, Luton have been a very difficult team to play up against this season. City have struggled, Arsenal struggled. So they're not just a walk in the park sort of team. You have to really work for your win. So
I was sorry to cut across you. I mean, I do the stewarding down.
You mentioned it before.
So like, I see them a lot, and like when Brighton came down there Wednesday or Tuesday,
right?
Brighton came down and they battered them. Literally, they battered them from pillar to post. But then what happened? I think the following Saturday,
was it United?
Lost against Sheffield United.
Sheffield United.
You know what I mean? So, but the things about Luton, they do play good football.
Yeah.
Even the other day when they lost against Man United, didn't they? Man United were lucky,
They were. They played really well.
Take it from me. I saw the game. They were lucky to get out with a 2-1. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at Luton and they, right, they're no mugs, and plus as well, they're fighting to stay in the Premiership. That's when teams are really dangerous, when they're fighting for Premiership survival. So they're no mugs. No mugs.
No, they're certainly not. And then you mentioned Kwanzaa. Yeah, I thought he was solid today. Virgil van Dijk for me was just like different levels. Like, I didn't want to hear what rival fans have to say about Virgil van Dijk. He's just levels, and it has been for a number of years. But as Liverpool fans, we see it week in, week out. But this year, I think since he's got the captain armband, he's just different. Like, just like, it's really like, I think he's giving him that sense of responsibility, and he's just really upped his game as well at the same time. Like, he's playing like the old Virgil van Dijk right now, which is such a beautiful sight. And you mentioned the young players as well earlier on, where we can bring on any youngster and I feel like they can do a job. That's like bring on any 16-year-old kid and they can just do a job. And it's just like, and we spoke about this in our previous show before, where because they're all training in one training complex now, it's rubbing off on all of them because they're seeing the first team players day in, day out. They're like, I can play alongside these players, and they're learning the trick and sort of like the traits of the passing patterns and all that kind of stuff. Like, they're seeing the tactical approach from a Klopp team. So it's already embedded in them without them actually playing for the first team. So they're it's like they're getting a free lesson before they've even gone onto the pitch. So they know exactly what they need to do. Tactically, they'll tell them this is what you got to do, but it's in the back of their mind because they've seen it in training. They've seen it every day. So
they've got that mentality, ain't they? I think what happens at the day is like, let's say for Klopp at the day, it says like, all right, I want to play him these two guys on this certain game. Yeah, what they would do, right? Obviously, the chain on one complex. They'll bring them into the first team and said, right, you know what I mean, train together so they can get used to people like McAllister, get used to people like Curtis Jones, Diaz, Nunes, so forth. So when they actually get to play, you know what I mean, get to do their sort of like debut, as it were, when they get to do their debut, they've already got that idea of what Klopp wants. You've already got the idea of what that player wants, what kind of pass he wants. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? You know? So it's just giving that idea. It's very ingenious. The way that Klopp's done it, how he's arranged it. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I always say this is what I always saying for now. This is why I can't see anybody else succeeding Klopp. But Alonso, I can't see it. You know, it's just sort of like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's a no-brainer for me. Do you know what I'm saying? But the mere fact at the end of the day that he's got to get that coercion at the end of the day, because remember, it's not just Klopp, it's people like Pep Lunes, Victor Ameno or something like that, I think his name is, Portuguese guy, I think him and Pep Lunes worked together before. Do you know what I mean? It's people like them and the other guy, that was there. It's people like them and they thought of this idea and I thought of this cohesion because look, there's this interview that's sort of like that's going around like a press conference that's going around where you can actually understand Klopp. Yeah, you can understand him. He says at the day, right? Your main job is at the day is like as a manager. Yeah, because he's talking about the unfair advantage that other teams have. And he started saying, your main job as a manager is to get a player, develop him, and then right, and get him into your team, playing well. And obviously, you know, you go on, you kick on. But the main thing is that it's getting the players that you develop. You know what I mean? Where you have the unfair advantage in the day, you've got teams at the day, i.e., Man City, Chelsea, and I can go out and buy anybody they want. Do you know what I mean? So they don't develop players. Do you know what I mean? They want develop players like what Klopp would do. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? And he goes, that's the name of the game of having of being a manager. Is developing players. You know, how can you sort of like, you know, have a situation and when they got this person here and it's able to go out and buy whoever they want at the day, right? But you can't, you know what I mean? You know, you have to do your thing. And he's saying like, whenever you know who it is, you know what's happening. But whenever I say it, then it's like, you know, everybody comes to me, but you know what's happening. Do you know what I mean? So I understand his philosophy. His philosophy is at the day is to find a player and develop him into something in the day really, really good. You know what I mean? I.e., at the day, the people that use them for the academy, Bradley, McDonald, Clark, now Dan. Do you know what I mean? Trent Alexandra. Do you know what I mean? Curtis Jones. There's a few players at the day that he's taken at the day at the academy and development day, and look at them now. They're about. If you went to buy Trent now, right? I'm telling you, go to buy Trent now, right? You're not looking to spend anything less than 100 million.
Minimum.
That's minimum. That's minimum. Curtis Jones is probably about 60 to 70 million pound player now.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm getting at? Then you got people like Panza and that's just coming in there. His prices have gone up now, you know. If you want him, you have to spend at least 25 to 30 million for him, you know.
More than that, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand like what he's done and everything that? And this is what he's done with the youths and everything that. So when at the end of the day when they step on the pitch, when they step on the Anfield pitch or wherever the pitch they go and represent Liverpool, yeah. Trust me, at the day, right? They are ready. They know exactly what to do. You see that guy, that guy Dan. It's the first time I've heard about him. Do you see his touches? He's got a touch of an angel, mate.
Do you remember that Arsenal game where we won 9-1? He was the guy that scored that free kick.
Oh yes. Dan's
is the guy that scored the free kick.
Yeah. And if you look at that academy side, yeah, there's a couple more ballers in there as well, you know.
There are.
There's a couple more ballers in there.
There are.
It's so scary.
You got Kumas, who's his dad used to play for Wigan. You've got Enoini, who was in the bench today as well. So we've got some players, man.
Yeah, we've got Trent Doherty.
Yeah, Trent Doherty. Yeah,
Trent Doherty. He's another bad unit as well. Do you know what I mean? So you've got all these players at the day that, put it this way, Alonso comes in, it's literally made for him.
Yeah, it is.
And this is what I love about Klopp. And I always love Klopp. It's a fact at the day, right? He's left at the day. He's leaving at the day a legacy.
Facts.
He's leaving a legacy behind him for the next manager. Yeah. He's built a legacy. You know, like some managers, when they leave the club and everything, that right, they leave the club in tatters. No, at the day, right, he's leaving a legacy at the day for the next manager. Say, right, you know, this is what I built. Now it's your turn at the day to carry it on. Do you know what I mean? I've done everything for you now.
Correct.
Lonzo comes in now and I think now everything's done for him.
Yeah. No, that is facts. I don't know if there's a manager that's left a club in a good position the way Klopp is leaving Liverpool right now, in my opinion. And I'm not even just saying just the first team. I'm talking, which you've just mentioned. I'm talking first team, reserves, youth, academy, every level that you can think of in that football club is ready. In terms of like the imprint is ready. We don't need to kind of go back to square one, or because you know when Sir Alex Ferguson left, look where they are right now. They're in tatters right now. They couldn't handle, you know, like they it wasn't even on the pitch. It was the hierarchy. They were shambles. Like everything was just going left, right on the pitch. They were just signing names rather than anything else. With Klopp, he's left a squad of players that are young and hungry, and it's the 2.0. I know he's leaving, but he's giving us a second version of Klopp's team. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so,
yes.
And you know, Alonso is the strongest candidate. I'm with you, Uncle Rods. That's the guy that I want. That is a no-brainer. That is the number one candidate for that role. It can't, in my opinion, as well. That's the number one guy. And with the difference between Klopp and a lot of managers is that Klopp is a true coach, and you've described it perfectly earlier on. He loves the fact that he can bring a young player or any type of player and improve them and nurture them and make them fulfill their potential. That is what he loves to do. That's why when Klopp signed for Liverpool as a Liverpool manager, you didn't see him buying Marco Reus or Dortmund players. He didn't do any of that. He bought new project players to be like, do you know what? I'm going to make Sadio Mane the next best thing. Mo Salah did the same thing, and he did that on and on. Brought in Alisson, brought in Van Dijk. So he knew what he was doing, and I feel like the squad right now, and I think not even the squad, Alonso as a coach is quite similar. Like in terms of their tactical approach and the philosophy is slightly different. I think Alonso is more on the Pep side, where he likes to play controlled football but high possession. But for me, that's refreshing for us as well at the same time. But it'll still be from an attacking point of view, it'll still be counter pressing. And that's what we've been very successful with this year. So he's tailor-made. There's the only box that some fans will throw at you will be experience. But I couldn't give a damn about the experience element because he was an elite player and he was a Liverpool player as well. So he knows the club, he knows the city, he knows the fans. It's already made for him to be this manager. And I know there's rumors flying around saying, oh, he might take the Bayern Munich role. I actually don't think he'll be interested in the role at all.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he will.
Like what your the guy that was on there before, Frank. Remember what he was saying the last time he was on there. he was saying about like his mate saw Alonso in the arts. What are you doing there? You play for Real Madrid now, something like. I think he's at Real Madrid that time. And he said, "No, I'm a Liverpool supporter. I'm a Liverpool fan." Do you know what I mean? His kids were born in Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I think what it is that they with Liverpool itself and everything, it's got something special about it, and that just grabs you. Have you noticed that about 90% of people at the day that play for this club, literally love the club. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's going up through the years, and even like some of the foreign players at the day, right? You got look at Maxi Rodriguez when he played for our club for 2 seasons, and he had like last season he had was a very good season, but he was he was going to leave. When he left at the end of the day, he wrote a letter at the end of the day, right? And that letter at the end of the day, right? I had to force myself from crying. The letter was so heartwarming. The things that he was saying about the club and his time here and the city and that. Do you know what I mean? He goes, he just basically he fell in love with the club. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people do. Luis Garcia is still still at the end of the day with Liverpool as an ambassador.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, so when you when you've played for Liverpool and you've been successful, because he was successful, Champions League and an FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When it happens at the day, you got this affinity with the club. Do you know what I mean? You got an affinity with the club and everything. And I feel at the end of the day, sort of like something like Alonso at the end of the day, which is at the end of the day has actually seen the club. He's seen it inside out because he's actually played for the club. Do you know what I mean? To me, at the end of the day, it's a no-brainer at the end of the day that he was on the club. Yeah. Bayern Munich at the end of the day, sort of like, right, somebody made a point today, and I think that, right? With Bayern Munich changing the manager all the time, don't they? It's like a rolling stone or something like that, right? No, it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Right? So you only have to go there. Look at Tuchel, and then Tuchel's just come in, not so long come in, He's gone at the end of the season, because the results ain't been coming his way. All it takes at the end of the day is for Alonso at the end of the day to go to Bayern Munich, not get the results at the end of the day that they want, and he's gone.
Yeah.
But he knows at the end of the day, if he comes to Liverpool, he'd be given more time.
100%.
He'd be given more time. So when you think about it, right? You think about it, and day, what does a man do? Does he go to a club at the day that's not going to be so loyal to him, or does he go to a club at the day that is going to be loyal to him? Do you know what I mean? You know, so to me, at the day, sort of like, if there's that interest, because I think Alonso wants to come as well. He does want to come. You know what I mean? Listen, just go. What my brother said at there, just go talk to his representatives, get a pre-contract signed and everything like that, right? That's all right. Go on, man, do what you're doing. All you say to him at the day is, look, let's say to Alonso, whether you win the Bundesliga or not, you're ours.
It doesn't make a difference.
We don't care. You're ours. You are ours. Whether you win or lose, you are ours. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which I think he's going to win it anyway. You know what I mean? But it's got to be that. It's got to be that.
No, I think so as well. He's tailor-made for this role, and I'm hoping he does choose us. And all the things you mentioned is so true in terms of he's mentioned it in so many interviews where he feels like a Liverpool player. Like he's played for Real Madrid, he doesn't really have that same connection there. Bayern Munich, it's the same thing. I think with the family attachment, you know, his kids always wanting to come back to Liverpool, like because they was born there as well. So we're a family club. So that's the difference between us and a lot of clubs all around the world, where as big as we are, as much, you know, we've got such a prestige history. We're a very loyal fan base and we're a very family-oriented club as well at the same time. And you mentioned Maxi Rodriguez. So players that have only been there for a couple of years, they become like lifetime supporters. And the likes of Maxi Rodriguez, they play for our like legends team as well. So all of the four players, they all play for us. So they don't play for other. He doesn't play for Atletico. He plays for Liverpool legends. You know, so they all play for us. So that is a testament of how they were treated. Where even if they played for 1 or 2 seasons, like they're still highly regarded. And I'm sure if you've seen him on the street and you speak to them, like they appreciate the fans in terms of like how, you know, we supported them over the years. So in terms of Alonso, yeah, I think it's tailor-made. You mentioned in terms of recruitment as well. I don't think there's that much work he needs to do. Maybe between 1 to 3 players. If really he needs to do it, I think that's all he needs. And I think because he plays a back three, maybe like an additional defender that's left-footed to give a bit more of a balance is probably the main target, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'd also say, no problem. And I'd also say, I would say, depending on Trent. So if he sees Trent as a right wing back, then that's his role. But I think he'll probably play Trent in midfield in a double pivot alongside McAllister. So then having another player to provide competition for Conor Bradley in the right wing back role is someone that we'd probably look into. And
I think he also plays at the day sort of like a 4-2-3-1 as well. He also plays that as well, like the double pivot. He does that double pivot thing
because he's playing like a 3-4-2-1. So the twos are a bit more narrow. So I think that actually suits Mohamed Salah playing a bit more infield.
Yes.
Can you imagine like that kind of creative free role where he can roam around and do what he needs to do along with Szoboszlai as well? We've got the players to play. That's why I'm so pleased in terms of what Klopp has done for us this season and last year, where the players that he signed last summer, they're tailor-made for different formations.
Yes.
So they're not just like, oh, he's a 4-4-2 man, like you can't do anything without him. These players can play multiple roles. So look, until that day happens, I'm sure when we get that announcement, we'll do a show together because there'll be a lot about if Alonso is that new manager, we'll have a lot to talk about. So we'll wait until that time. But let's look ahead for this weekend. How are you feeling about the cup final against Chelsea?
I'm mildly confident, actually. I'm actually confident because I think to myself, every obstacle that's been put in front of us this season, and that we passed the test. Do you know what I mean? Correct. I mean, there was that blip at the day, sort of like with Arsenal and day, but I did a show with Tony Claude, good friend of mine, and I said, look, at the end of the day, when you don't turn up to a game, that's what happens. You get beaten. I have to give credit to Arsenal because they took advantage of that. Do you know what I mean? They knew we didn't turn up and they went out and won the game. Do you know what I mean? But that's what happens when you don't turn up. I don't know why we didn't turn up, but we didn't turn up that game.
It's a bad day in the office.
Yeah, and you get those days. Even like people like us in them day in a normal 9-to-5 jobs and everything that.
Yeah,
we get those bad days and everything where just nothing just going right. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
But like to me at the end of the day, sort of like when you look at the obstacles that's been put in front of us, even today, look at today now, we've got so much of our first teamers out. Do you know what I mean? And we passed the test. Even before, when Mo Salah was out for the African Nation Cup, do you know what I mean? We put Jota down the right, and and sort of like Luis Diaz and Jota was interchanging and stuff, and passed the test. So every kind of test that was put in front of us, we've passed it. So what it then does for me is it gives me confidence going into a game like Chelsea, because when you look at Chelsea, then they've also got injury problems as well. Do you know what I mean? They're without Thiago Silva's not going to be there. Chukwuemendi's not going to be there. There's 3 players at the day. Reece James is not going to be there. Do you know what I mean? So there are a few players that they're actually missing. Do you know what I mean? So like even when they played against Man City and they went 1 goal up, but not being funny, they didn't feel me in confidence, and they didn't feel me in confidence at the end of the day that they was going to go on and win it. You know what I mean?
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I am confident at the end of the day that sort of like we can pass the test or put up a show to pass the test. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to think, Klopp's going to say to him, look, at the end of the day, right, there's no pissing about now. We got to do this. Do you know what I mean? Because this is a chance at the day to pick up one of the trophies at the day that out of the 4 that we could possibly win. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, listen, at the day, you can do this against Chelsea. You've done it before at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? I know it come quite convincingly. So just go out and play a game. hopefully, touch wood, we should have what's it called? We should have Darwin Núñez back, and we should have Salah back.
Salah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think them two at the end of the day are going to be back. I think he didn't want to risk it for today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know,
I agree.
And that was very understandable, and that's very a good thing from Klopp. You know what I mean? Correct thing for him to do is not to sort of like play them tonight. Do you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
So I reckon them two will be back at the end of the day on Sunday, and with the rest of the team at the day getting up to speed and that. Do you know what I mean? I think we're capable of getting that. We're capable of doing it. I just got a feeling that day we're capable of doing it. As long as we come out and play that game and day that we know we can play.
Yeah.
I can't see any other result. Do you know what I mean? You know, because Chelsea will come at you at the day, right? Yeah. But after a while, they get deflated, especially if you score against them. They get deflated. Do you know what I mean? You know. Yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident for this weekend, this Sunday. Very confident. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am as well. What's your score prediction?
I heard you guys at the day. One said 2-1. One said 3-1. Sod it. You know what? Fuck it. 4-1. 4-1.
4-1. Love
4-1.
it.
I'm pushing out my chest, man. I'm pushing out.
Say it.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got 2 consecutive 4-1 victories. Let's make it 3 in a row. So why not? Let's go for 4-1.
I think that if we start, if we, get that goal and we get into momentum and that, 4-1. 4-1 is, to me, at the day, is a realistic score. Do you know what I mean? So let's have it. Let's beat those Chelsea man them. I got a couple of Chelsea bridges, as well, but this is war. This is war, blood.
And I know they want revenge as well, because obviously the last 2 cup finals beat them on penalties, so they want blood as well at the same time. So
yeah.
But look, it's an exciting game coming up. I'll be doing a match reaction, so Uncle Roz, if you can come on the show as well, we'd love to have you on. But Uncle Roz, thank you for coming on today. Thank you for your thoughts in terms of today's game and everything Liverpool affiliated. Appreciate your time.
Hey, listen, no problem. I've always got time for you, my boy.
I've always
got time for you, man. So listen, whenever sort of you do like a match reaction,
appreciate it.
I would definitely jump on and support you, my boy.
Yeah, this Sunday, hopefully will be a celebration episode. So
yes, man, we pop up some champagne or something.
See what we gotta do. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have a good time. But Uncle Roz, thank you as always, and hopefully we'll be touching base very soon.
Bless up, King. Bless up. Bless up.
Take care. Thank you. Take care. So that was Uncle Roz there. As you can see, fans are in high spirits today, and rightly so. It was a potential banana skin today where, especially when we were trailing in the first half, it could have gone either way. But thankfully, our players stepped up today, and a lot of players, the likes of Gakpo, Elliott, really stepped up in terms of our squad players. And, they'll be knocking on the door to try and start on that game on Sunday, which is the League Cup final. So, a lot to look forward to. And that's a wrap up for today, guys. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to the likes of Daz, Jay Kismet, Drunk Vigo, Richard Hutchinson. Thank you for your comments, guys. Appreciate it. And for Uncle Rods for your comment. And obviously, he just came on. So thank you for your time as well. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Just got a couple comments here from Double D, who says, I was shook at halftime. I know a lot of fans were. I still had the confidence that we'll do it, I'm not going to lie. And then his second comment about the pace we played at today. Yeah, that second half, we were a different team. And we went all guns blazing. And that's what we want to see, right? So definitely a good performance. And speaking of Double D, I'm actually doing a match preview tomorrow, and Double D will be my special guest. This is the preview of the Chelsea versus Liverpool Carabao Cup final. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, guys. We'll be doing our show at 10:30 p.m. I'm actually doing 2 shows. I'm doing a show before that. I'm doing a 10 o'clock show where I'll be doing the Match Week 25 review. So we'll be talking about this game briefly, but also what else has happened in terms of City dropping points against Chelsea. Obviously, they won against Brentford, and then seeing what the other teams in the league and see where they stand right now in the table. So yeah, double show tomorrow. So yeah, Double D will be with us. Just got a couple more comments here. Jay Kismet says, "Peace, bro. Thank you, Jay Kismet. Thank you for coming on the channel, and thank you to Frank as well." And press the like, guys. We won. Yep. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And Double D is like, geez, yeah. So we've got an exciting show coming up tomorrow. We'll be talking about, you know what? I haven't had Double D on the show for a while, so we'll be talking about Klopp in terms of, you know, the news that he's leaving, how he's feeling about it, potential candidates, and then we'll talk tactics as well in terms of how myself and Double D see us setting up, how Chelsea might set up, what ways can we, you know, avoid conceding any goals. So yeah, it'll be a good show tomorrow. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. So yeah, as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all tomorrow evening. Goodbye.